Hello, this is Rano. Today we're going to tell you how to file a state judicial board of conduct complaint. And I'm going to try to do a video before this, and I'm going to try to do a video after this, explaining to you it's not just about filing the complaint and what are the circumstances under which you can file one of these complaints. So not because you're upset with a judge, it means that you should want to file a complaint with them. There are circumstances, there are rules, and I'm going to explain those rules to you. So we're in Texas, and what I did was I Googled Texas Justice Board of Conduct, which is called the State Commission of Judicial Conduct. So on the second part here, it says Texas Code of Judicial Conduct. You might want to take a look at that, so click on that. And this is the Texas Code. But before we go on, just want to let you know this is not legal advice, not giving legal advice. This is just to inform you and instruct you on how to file one of these complaints. So this is the code under which you're going to file this complaint. And the canon rule upholds the integrity and independence of the judiciary. An independent and honorable judiciary is indispensable to the justice system in our society. A judge should participate in establishing, maintaining, and enforcing high standards of conduct and should personally observe those standards so that the integrity and the independence of the judiciary is preserved. The provisions for this code are to be construed and applied to the further that objective. So there's Canon Rule 1, Canon Rule 2, Canon Rule 3, and then it goes on and tell you what judges can and cannot do. But you have to know how to explain these things, but for right now I'm just going to show you how to, I'm going to come back in another video and I'm going to show you how to explain the conduct rules, but for right now what we're going to do is we are going to, let's see, we're going to go back to number 1. Just remember Texas Code of Judicial Conduct. Read those rules and apply it appropriately. So 2 things that I'm going to do when I come back in another video. I'm going to show you how to use AI, because I see a lot of lawyers representing people and pro se people, and then they fire those people because pro se people are very compassionate, and then they use AI and they do better applications to the law because they're more, passionate about the offenses committed against them. So we're going to go to the State Commission on Judicial Conduct. And when you get to this is Texas, so your state has a different commission on judicial conduct. And what's going to happen here is you're going to see file a complaint right on top of the page. Let's go down to complaint, file a complaint. Again, if you have any questions, you can click this and it'll tell you which judge can the commission investigate, who can the commission not investigate, what is the judicial misconduct, what is not judicial misconduct, and this is the one you want to these are the things you really want to take a look at. Decisions by judges are not misconduct, even if those decisions appear to fly in the face of the evidence or appear to be based upon perjured testimony, and even if the judge misapplied the law. So take a look at that. What is misconduct? Inappropriate or demeaning court conduct, such as yelling. If a judge yell at you, profanity, gender bias, racial slurs, using the prestige of judicial office to advance their private interests or the interests of other judges or lawyers or anybody else, inappropriate communication with others, with only one of the parties, like if they're talking to the lawyer and they're not talking to you, without your presence. Public comment regarding the pending cases, they can't make comment. Hearing a case in which the judge has a financial interest, ruling in a case in which the parties or attorneys relate to the judge, alcohol, drugs, mental issues. Boy, there's a lot of judges with mental issues, I can tell you that. A judge failure to cooperate with the commission or failure to abide by any provisions, voluntary agreement, in lieu of disciplinary action, out of court behavior such as sexual harassment, endorsement of a specific political party. So those are some of the things that you want to look for, but read the other one and make sure you understand why you're filing this conduct against the judge. And I am going to add my own misconduct of Judge Kim Cook, so I can walk you through this. Okay, so now that we know that, let's go back to the commission and let's file a complaint. So file a complaint. There's usually a form. Now it says you can download the form, download the complaint form. So complaint form in English. So here's the form. And you have to fill out this form. So let's see if we can find some help here. When you come into Texas judicial conduct, the form, you can actually fill it in right here. So let's try to do that. My name is, okay. My name is not L. Okay, then you want to put your date of birth, which I'm not going to show you, your daytime phone number, which I'll just do 214, email address. Okay, so if you make a mistake, it's invalid, so it won't let me do that. Put in an email address, your mailing address, zip code, identify the responding judges. In this case, the judge is Judge Kim. And I'm going to tell you what you need to do before you fill out this form. Cooks, right? The court number, she doesn't have a court number, so I'll do sitting by assignment, which means that she's assigned by the chief judge where we live in Dallas County, and city and county. So the city is Dallas. County, Dallas. I'm just going to put Texas just in case. Identify the attorney involved. So if there was an attorney involved in this case, I did an attorney involved. I'm going to put the attorney in this case was Victoria. She represented my ex, G. Warner. Rowlett County, so they know how to find her. Opposing counsel, I'm going to repeat her name. Okay, and I'll fill in her address and everything else later. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to save this form and this stuff is going to come out with it. And I can add by pen anything else I want to add. Previous attorneys, if there was any, nope. The nature of the complaint. If you're involved a court case, criminal, small family. So this was a family court case. So nature of the court, I'll put Dallas. Family court. And I could even put the court number, which is 301. Case number is DF. That's the case number that the judge presided over. You have to put that because they're going to look for that. Dash, no, it's not, doesn't start with DF. Yeah, and then the year was 23. And then the case number is 11243. I can say that. Title of the suit. It was Baldio v. Baldio. That was me versus my ex. If you are not a party to this suit, what is your connection? Don't need to say that. And identify any witnesses. So if there's a cop in the courtroom or an officer, they have to tell the truth. If this judge committed a misconduct, if you had witnesses in there, if there was anybody that can, even the clerk. So let's say the clerk was Jennifer Smith. Put the clerk's name down. What did they witness? And then you put judges, hostility, abuse, threats. What else do judges do that's we read before? I'm going to try to stay with what we read before. The threats, they abuse, threats, what else? Bias, prejudice, and discriminations. So you can go back to what it says, what a judge can be complained about, and you can use things from that. Okay, so we put some things down, and Jennifer because they may contact Jennifer. Did you wish the judge be hostile, abusive, threatening, biased, prejudice, and was discrimination? So make sure Jennifer is going to back you up on that. Or if you had your own witness or another lawyer or anybody else, even the because Jennifer is, let's just say she's a court clerk, she's going to back the judge because she's not going to want to lose her job, even though she witnessed everything. So the judge's name is going to be on every single page. Once you put them up there, your name is going to be on every single page. It's automatic. Please tell the commissioner what the judge did. Now, this is what they want to read. They give you 2 blank pages. Okay? So what I did is I'm going to do see attached. And I'm going to show you what I did for them to see attach. See if I can pull this off the screen for a second. Okay, I have it in the file folder. I'll pull that up. So I went ahead of my time, and what I did was I wrote out everything I wanted. Okay, so I had to pause the video for a second because I needed to find a file by Kim Cook. So this is the complaint that I filed against Kim Cook. Misconduct, administrative improprieties, and resulting damage. So I have her name, I have the judge involved, Michael Snipes, and this is a sworn complaint. And this basically gives you an idea of what I did. A statement of facts. I filed a family court case, I identify bias and conflict of interest with assignment judge. I filed a motion to recuse him. And despite this request, Kim Cook unlawfully removed my recusal, reinstating the judge in my case without procedural and legal justification. I have the evidence of that. Make sure you add all the evidence that you could. The judge was a criminal assignment judge, had no family law experience, and had accepted the assignment workload for his salary. So it goes on to explain why during the hearing, she did not pay any attention to facts or applicable law. Her demeanor was, and statement indicates she had a decision to deny my motion. The denial was not based on the rule of law, was based on political connections. But my main problem with Kim Cook is, let's see. What she did was she needed to have an assignment order from the chief judge. And because she did not have an assignment order that had to be docketed, the order had to be docketed inside the application, she did not have jurisdiction to put it back in the case. And that's like the Letitia James, they hired a prosecutor. The prosecutor did not have jurisdiction or proper credentials to put her to the grand jury, and that's why that case was dismissed. The same thing happened here. Kim Cook did not have any assignment order to be on this case, to put him back, Michael Snipes, in the case, and as a result, he wreaked havoc on the law, on the case. Basically, he went after me just to spite me and hurt me because I reported him and filed a recusal against him. So I put all this in facts, and there's some things that I have to do. I have to ask them, because here's my ask. My ask was this. So I did this on AI. I entered it, and it gave me back the proper code. Judge must perform duties impartial, and let's say judge must disqualify themselves when impartiality might be reasonably questioned. Judge must act without bias and prejudice. So I added some of those things that I put at the top there for you. And I put this was also a due process violation and procedural fairness. I added that to it. And my damages as a result of Judge Kim Cook's action was my financial loss, my home loss, the loss of my pet, emotional trauma, and procedural harm. I was denied a jury trial because he threatened me if I told a jury what he did, he was going to have me arrested. So a lot of bad stuff happens that was outside the law. So if a judge ruled within the law, this is evidence, this is this, and it was within the judicial procedure, there was no bias, there was no prejudice, they just made a bad ruling, that's an appeal. If they made a bad ruling to the law, that's an appeal. It is not a judicial conduct. You have to watch your judicial conducts. If it was political, if it was biased, if they mentioned anything about your race, if they mentioned anything that they discriminate against you because they didn't like you, they were unfair, unjust, and you got to put you've got to swear this under. So when you do this, I have to adjust this to say right here. I'm not finished with it yet. You have to put the notarized language here. For the notary public, you have to put their name, you have to put their stamp, and you have to make sure that is added here. I haven't added it yet. So when you go to notarize this, they will put their name, they will put their number, and they will put their stamp. So must have this notarized. And just remember, this is just a draft. I'm cleaning it up. My prayer for relief is missing something. I'm going to add it in right now. And it's going to be a referral for criminal investigation. So if the board, you want the board that if they find that it was criminal misconduct, they want them to refer it to a criminal investigation. The State Judicial Board of Conduct, remember, they are not a real enforcement entity. But the reason that you want to file this complaint is because you want something on record. In case yourself or somebody else said, I've already filed a complaint with them, nothing was done. The State Judicial Board of Conduct are friends with a lot of judges, are friends with friends who are judges. The chances of you moving this forward is small, or something you can use to take to the prosecutor's office. If you find that they have committed an act that's criminal, official misconduct, official oppression, let's look at that for a second. Quick look. Official Texas law. Okay, official conduct is identify intentional and knowingly violation of the law by public servants, which include judges and lawyers, acting in an official capacity, any government officials, which they are, misuse of information, bribery, official oppression, right? There are laws for this in Texas constitutional statute. Here it is. This is one of the laws. So you can go through this and see all the ways in which you can charge a judge or anybody else criminal procedure, article, official misconduct. Just go looking for all this stuff from the government. Just remember, these judges are government entities. So you can charge them as you can charge a cop, you can charge them as you can charge anyone that has violated your rights in a criminal matter. Okay, so here's what we're going to do with this. So I could do a couple of things here. I could take this, let me see how many pages I can get out of it, and then copy. I can go back to the form and I can paste it. Let me see if they'll give me, oh, okay. You can paste it in the form, and I got through this point. And then, let's see if I can get any more in it. This is where and I actually have duplicate stuff here because I'm working to try to put all of it together. Copy. And then so you can add this right here. Okay, maybe you can't, because that's gonna just flood up here. It wouldn't just go into the next page. So where did we stop? Let me see if I can do undo. Okay, so then we're going to go to the next page, paste this here, okay, and then it stops. So that's the end of mine. Let's see if if you have anything else, it's not going to feed. So if it's not going to feed, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the second page. What's the problem? Why is it jumping? That's interesting. Because what I want to do here is I want to say, all right, so if you want to play games, let's play games. Here's what we're going to do. Because it won't do that, let's go back to here and type in C Just going to put C additional pages. So just in case yours is yours has more and you can't put it in these 2 pages. I don't know why it won't let me. I'll put it anyway. Okay, here we go. C. What? All right, it won't show me, but I'm still gonna see a. Maybe it's because I'm working from a laptop. So I put C additional pages attached. So let's just say you can only fill this and you've got another page, you put this, and then you're going to print. Let's just say all you got was up to here. You're going to print this on an additional page, and then you're going to say on the top here, page 3, because you have 2 pages, so you do page 3 of, and then you put, all the pages have Kim Cook on it, so you're going to put Kim, what am I doing? And then you put your name on the other side of the page, because that's how, and then you're going to just delete this. And so the top of your page, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? What just happened? Something just happened. Okay, here we go. Let's bring this down. Anyway, you want the top of the page to resemble, I don't know what's happening, I'm just working too fast. You want the top of the page to resemble the top of these pages here. Judge Kim Cook, your name, and then the third page, and then you put the rest of the stuff. But I'm not going to go back there and try to fix that. So, okay, so we did all that. I, Keith Baldio, swear that I have acknowledged the facts and complaints, and then you're going to sign this right here, right? And let me see, notary section. So you must have this notary section. You don't have to notarize the third page. You already said you have a third page. So you take this to a notary, and they're going to stamp it, and they're going to swear under oath that you came to them and they clarify everything here is, on the up and up, and you're not lying, and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So let's see what happens if we print this. So we're going to save this and see if it's going to come out. Let's move this away. Let's save this. Save with your changes, yes. And we're going to save it to the desktop, SCJC, and we're going to save it. Okay, here it is. Let's open it up. Okay, and it is saved with all your information. Well, things we didn't put in. Your name, your full complaint, everything you want to say. You have to add your exhibits, because remember we have 9 pages of exhibits here. You want to add those exhibits. After you print this, you have it notarized. You're telling them you have 9 exhibits. The notary is going to cover that. Everything you mention here, the notary is going to cover it. And you see attached, page attached. Make sure, well, you should put page 3 attached. And then everything is going to be here. You take this to the notary, you print this out, take this to the notary. You can write in pen anything here that you missed. This is not set in stone. So, yeah. Okay. So, anything I request my identity be kept confidential, yes or no? So you want to tell them, well, I'm filing this against a judge. I don't want the judge to know who I am because he's going to retaliate. Or you can say, I want the judge to know who I am because I want to meet him face to face. That's what God said. I will meet you face to face in what you did to me. What else do you need to know? The notary public should know where to put their signatures. There's 3 places. One you swear on your own. One you have stamped. Put them in a place where they get stamped. What else? Confidential. That's the confidential part. Personal knowledge. Failure to complete and submit an affidavit will cause your complaint to be not compliant. Okay. Okay. So this is your sworn statement. This is your sworn affidavit. You filed it. You add your evidence, and they're going to read it. One more thing I want to stress is that when you're doing your complaint, let's go back. Can we get out of here? Okay. One thing you want to do when you're filling this out is there are bullet points here. And maybe you don't want those bullet points. Maybe you want to clean this up. You can go back, and if you don't think this is appropriate, you go back here and you just delete the question mark. Delete the question mark. Kim Cook, question mark. Just remember, this document came from Word. So you want to make sure that when it's formatted properly. Order this is 0, should probably be a 1. So let's put a 1. It keeps jumping, I don't know why. Maybe then this 0 should be a 2, or A, or B, or whatever it may be. This is what you have to do. Go back and clean it up if you have to, because you want it to make it look appropriate, because when you print this out, this is going to print. Here's another question mark here. And again, it's going to jump. Pull it back down. Get rid of the question mark. It's going to jump. It's jumping on me. I don't know why. It may not be in your computer. Get rid of question mark. Go back up here. So when it was reformatted from Word document to this is what we got. We got a different kinds of things happening because of the reformatting. So that's it. This is how you file a complaint. You get this printed. You make the changes before you get it printed. Make sure everything is formatted properly. Add your page 3. Make sure you mention there's a page 3 or a page 4. And if you don't want to do that, you don't have to do all of this. You can just get rid of all of this, right? Let's see, you can get rid of all of this. Just delete the whole thing. Anyway, if you just delete everything here that you say, look, I don't want to just see. Let's see. Delete. So you delete all of this, and you put C attached, complaint regarding misconduct and appropriate results, and put your headline there, and C attach. I would say, let's just say you got 4 pages, and you put the complaint resulting in bias, and I'm just shortening this, misconduct. Okay, and so when you file this, they're going to see there's attached 4 pages regarding the misconduct, administrative unruling, and bias and misconduct. So you don't have to fill this whole thing out. They already know there's 4 page attached to it, and they'll go looking for the 4 page, and they're going to say, what is the 4 page attached to this? And you'll see your complaint. My complaint is, what is my complaint? Don't save. What's my complaint? Oh, that's something totally different. That's that. Texas code. Anyway, my complaint, you saw my complaint before. That's what I did. Oh, here it is. This is my complaint. I identified the top part of it. And it's how many pages? So far it is, well, look at the bottom, it's 3 pages. So I have a 3-page complaint, basically. I don't know why the page number is not there, but 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3 pages. So I'll put 3 pages, and that's it. That's it. You must notarize this. Make sure I said I have six evidence. 6 sets of evidence now. My evidence may be, the docket entry, and it may be 3 pages. My evidence may be, the court transcripts, and that may be 6 pages. Because the transcript from the court, when you file it, I'm going to give you one thing as well. It's a good idea, before you complain about the judge, is to file an appeal. What the appeal does, it gives you a right to the transcripts. And if you were a pro se person, you're probably a poor person. If you can't afford a lawyer, you're pro se and you can't afford it. So what you do is you file a poor person's application for the improper, I can't remember the exact term, but just tell them you have an inability to pay for the transcripts. and they'll give you a form to fill out, and I'll do another video on that form. You fill that form out, and then you give it to the appeals court. The appeals court will give you a copy of the transcript. But your appeal is going to be like this. 30 days after the judge makes a decision, you file your appeal within the 30 days. You can do it the next day, the very next day. When you file a notice of appeal, there's a form. You go to the court clerk. I'm just telling you how to get the transcripts here. You go to the court clerk. No, I'm sorry. You go to, the court clerk or the law library. In every court in Texas, there's a law library. Or you can go online. You print out a notice of appeal form. It's 1 page. You fill it out. You go to the clerk where your case was, and the clerk stamps it. In some courts, you don't have to go to the clerk. You have to go to the county clerk, not the court clerk, the giant court's clerk. Usually they're on the first floor. You go to that clerk and he says, I'm filing a notice of appeal. Here it is. Take 2 copies. They stamp a copy for themselves and they stamp a copy for you. Your copy, you make a copy for your records, and you go up to the appeals court and you said, I'm filing a notice of appeal. And that's a different court. It's not your court. And that court is going to require you to fill out a form called an inability to pay form. Because this is a new case now. The appeals court is a new case, even though it's the old case. And so you fill that form. Hey, this is my name. I'm not employed. When I work for only $1,000 a month, and it's pay these bills. These are my bills. These are my expenses. You fill that form out. You sign it. And you give it to them. They take it to the judge and says, this person can't really pay because of this. And the judge will waive the $300 and something fee or the $275 fee. When that happens, it also goes to the transcript person. So the transcript person sees that you have an inability to pay because the judge accepted it. It takes about a week or less for the judge to accept it. Then the transcript person sees that you can't pay. They have to give that to you for free, or the court pays for it. Taxpayers pay for it, I guess. And you get that transcript of what happens in the court, and you find where the judge was bullying you, was demeaning you, was telling you you don't have a case, and whatever they did that qualifies for official misconduct. And then you take the transcript, you highlight it, you highlight your reaction, you highlight what he said or she said, take those pages, clip it together, and add it to one of your exhibits. I mentioned my exhibits here, and that's why I said I have 6, and I'll do that. Okay? So that's one way to get evidence to add it to this. The more evidence you give the State Judicial Board of Conduct, the more that they can see what was done to you. So make sure you add as much evidence as you possibly can. If you have an audio recording, just tell them I have an audio recording of this and notify them of it. You can't, I don't know if you can mail an audio recording ahead of time. And that's it. That's how you do a State Judicial Board of Conduct complaint. And I just want to warn you that judges have 50 complaints, 15 complaints, 4 complaints, and nothing is done. And let me tell you why nothing is done. The State Judicial Board of Conduct was created because judges, the top judges, were friends with other judges, and the prosecutors were friends with judges. The prosecutor have to, when a complaint is filed against someone, that's a criminal complaint, the prosecutor gets that complaint, and they go before these judges and say, hey, we're prosecuting this person. So every day the prosecutor and the judge meets each other. They know each other. They both have law license. They go to each other's parties, maybe if they're from the same political parties. They go to events. They went to the same golf club, country club, wherever they are. They mingle at the same restaurants, same bars. So they are friends. The State Judicial Board of Conduct was created because they were having these judges prosecuted too many times. So the State Judicial Board of Conduct Commission was to take the cases away from being prosecuted, bring it to them, slap them on the wrist, and send them home. That's why it was created. So I say be cautious with these things, but be important that you must file these kind of complaints. Because for Texas Justice Review, what we do, or we could do, is if we see a judge with so many complaints, we can pull it. and added to any criminal complaint that Texas Justice Review or any entity want to file to remove a judge or prosecute a judge. There's a judge in Baxter County by the name of Rosie Speedling Gonzalez. And she was just prosecuted and lost her judgeship because she handcuffed an attorney who she thought was stupid. But that attorney knew she was abusing her power. That judge is no longer on the bench. Now, if that attorney hadn't done anything and filed an official misconduct with the State Judicial Board of Conduct, it would have just been a paper trail. But this attorney decided to go to the prosecutor's office, and the prosecutor's office they won't prosecute her because they have a buddy system going on. So they hired a special prosecutor outside the circle, and that special prosecutor prosecuted them. So if you file this complaint and somebody goes through that process, they can pull this complaint and say, see, I'm not the only one that they did this to you. They did this to other people. And they did the same thing to other people. This judge is out of control. This judge is abusive. This judge is not following the law. This judge is not following procedure. This judge is above the law. And all these things are evidence, and you become a witness at the time if it's in another case. So, that's it. That's what you have to follow. Go online, get the form. In addition, you don't have to fill this form out online. You can just print the blank copy of it. Did I print a blank copy? No. I can just, print a blank copy and then sit down with a pen and just start writing out what they did to me. I'm just showing you a more professional way to do it, because if the board sees that you took the time to go through filling in the digital parts of all of this, they're going to know you're a little more serious than the average guy. On the other hand, you might get empathy from the judges if you see you're just a pro se person. And on the other hand, they hate pro se people. So, that's the long and the short of it. Again, nothing here is for legal advice. I just walk you through this. I'm going to walk you through filling out the form for a pro se person if you can't afford to pay. I'm going to walk you through some other forms that you need to fill out. But this is the long and short of filling out a State Judicial Board of Conduct form. Make sure you read what you can charge a judge with and what you cannot charge a judge with. Not because you're upset that you lost your case means that you can file a complaint against the judge. If you lost your case, I just told you how to do an appeal. Now, one of the biggest things that I have to do is to walk a pro se person through the appeal process, filing a writ of mandamus. And I'm going to have to sit with a lawyer to do that, because I really don't want to do that by myself. But I think as pro se person, we're more passionate about what was done wrong to us. I'm leading this fight, and I'm walking you through it as I go along. This is Serrano Keith Baldio for Texas Justice Review. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.